everyone, and welcome back to the Real Positive Girl podcast. Happy Wednesday. I hope that your day is starting off amazingly. I hope that you have a great day. It's Wednesday. We're halfway through the week, so yay us. If your day has already started and it's been lame or bad or just not as you had planned, as I say every single time, find 5 minutes of your day that you can feel peaceful, that you can not feel stress, that you can just feel calm and gather your thoughts together, maybe problem solve a little bit for how to make tomorrow better, because tomorrow's a new day every single time. I mean, you can make the next hour a new day, quote unquote, you can do whatever you want. But if it's easier for you to just let the rest of this day go and just know that tomorrow's going to be a better day, then do that, problem solve and how you're going to attack tomorrow even better or more prepared to deal with whatever crap is happening in your life. So that's my encouragement for you. It's the same every single day. I like to reiterate it because I don't know if new people are jumping in on the podcast. And also, I think we need a reminder every single day. So again, happy Wednesday. This week we are talking about having the fear of success. So I'm loving it. I hope you're loving it. Yesterday's podcast, so long. I'm sorry. But it was in my heart. I had to say it. I had to talk about it. So hopefully that's okay. Today, Wednesday, we are talking about be disciplined in your plan and keep going. So yesterday we talked about making a plan of action for the success that you'd like to have. Today, we're going to talk about being disciplined in that plan and to keep going. So let's just jump right in. In addition to having a plan of what you need to do, having a plan to keep yourself accountable is just as important. So yes, you can create a plan of action. You can create a timeline, deadlines, milestones for what the course of your success, your desires and dreams, and whatever project that you're doing, you can create a plan, exactly what needs to be done, from start to finish. But also, in the middle of those things, despite having deadlines, because I feel like for me, having deadlines, whether it's in my regular, 8:30 to 5 job, or it's in podcasting, or anything else that I'm trying to pursue, deadlines are super helpful, but, they're still very easy to roll over or pass by or not even think about if I don't have also other things backing me up to keep me disciplined, to keep going, stay on track, because you're like, oh yeah, I need to have this done by tomorrow, but then what if you spend, today doing something else, you run out of time, you're like, oh, okay, whatever. You have to have something else that's going to get your rear in gear so that you keep going and keep continuing on the path that you tell yourself you want to be on, but, we can easily get distracted. I know that I can. Super easy. So, you want to have a plan to keep yourself accountable. It's so important. Planning out the actual work is much easier than planning out ways to keep yourself going and positive through the whole process. It's so true because you're pouring your heart out to your laptop, computer screen, your phone, on a written actual piece of paper, I still do that sometimes. It's so much easier because you're like, oh, I want to do this and this and this, and I want this to happen, and this is the way I'd like it to go, and this is what I want it to look like 6 months from here, and then 9 months, and then a year, and this is where I want to be in this timeline. That's great. Super easy because you're so passionate about it. You're excited. You've done your research and whatever else you need to do. But actually planning out ways to keep yourself disciplined, to keep yourself accountable, stay the course when things get tough, that is so much harder because it's not fun, right? You don't want to think about no one wants to sit around and be like, okay, well, what are the best ways that I can keep myself accountable and disciplined? I mean, I'm not saying that there aren't people like that out there, because there definitely are, but I feel like the majority of us are like, no, that's not the priority. The priority is getting the thing done because you want to feel successful in the end, or in the middle, because that's the thing. That's the exciting thing. Keeping yourself accountable is not the exciting thing. That's that's the mom thing. Gotta stay on top of it, So, if having outside support is helpful for you, enlist someone to be your accountability partner. Maybe you can trade check-ins with each other. I think this is a great idea. So, me personally, I do not have someone in my life that directly supports me in the things that I'm doing. Now, that's not to say that I don't have people in my life that are supportive. It's just that I think I've mentioned before, I haven't really told that many people what I'm doing because I have this really big fear of judgment, which is something that we need to talk about for a week in the future. And I'm slowly getting over it. But it doesn't mean that I've jumped out of my comfort zone to tell everyone in the world that I'm doing a podcast. I'm just putting it out there, and I know that at some point I will be over it and I will tell everyone it'll be fine. And I'm slowly trying to tell people. But anyway, so I don't necessarily have the outside support that is going to keep me accountable. I am literally just keeping myself accountable right now. But I know that doesn't work for everyone. What works for some people is to have like your best friend, or maybe it's your partner, your spouse, maybe it's a mentor that you have that will continually check on you and be like, hey, you told me that maybe you want to give them your timeline or plan that you've derived for the project or the dream or whatever it is that you're working on. And they're like, oh, hey, it says that, in your plan, it says you're supposed to be here at this time. How is that coming? Have you hit that goal? And then they can kind of like kick you in the butt and be honest with you and help you move forward and not give up. Or if you're having a hard time and you feel like your life's falling apart and you're not spending that much time working on your plan, your project, whatever it is, then they can encourage you and help you boost your confidence and your positivity and be like, no, just keep going. This is the thing that makes you happy. This is the thing that you've wanted for so long. Despite what else is going on in your life, just keep going, push forward. So if you prefer that kind of accountability, find someone in your life that you can trust. And maybe they need an accountability partner too, and they're working on their own thing. You guys can just trade check-ins. And you'll just have this little support system. Maybe you'll make a group out of it. That would be awesome. So that is an option. Also, you can set alarms and reminders on your phone to get certain tasks done. So this is something that I do all the time. And it's something that my husband has started doing when he got his new phone. Because I guess the setup on the new Samsung, whatever. I don't know. I have an iPhone. I don't know anything about it. But one of the newest Samsungs that he got has like a little square of reminders on the top right of the phone when you just on the home screen, and that really helps him. He will set things in his calendar and set reminders, and when he looks at his phone, which a lot of us are on our phones a lot, he'll literally see that list. He'll get reminders, like little sounds will go off when he needs to do something. It has totally changed the game for him, and I am appreciative of that. But that's also something that I like to do too. I love to set reminders on my phone because, especially when it's a task that I don't want to do at the moment, even though I could, but I don't want to, but I know that I need to do it by a certain day. I love setting a reminder for like almost the latest I could do it and then doing it. So for example, earlier this week, my husband was like looking through our credit card statement because it's something important that everyone should do to make sure that you're not being charged for things you didn't know you were being charged for, or your credit card wasn't lifted from somewhere. I'm just saying. And he was like, oh, why do we have a charge for stamps.com? And it's because I decided to sign up for something temporarily and I forgot to set myself a reminder to cancel it. Because you know how sometimes you'll sign up for things, like I do this all the time, where I'll sign up for a 7-day free subscription thing on my iPhone for whatever app, and I just want to try it out, and I will set a reminder to cancel that in 6 days so that I don't get charged for it because I just want to try it out, especially if I didn't like it. But if I did like it, then I'll just cancel the reminder when it comes up. But I didn't set a reminder, so when he told me about it, I was like, oh, yes, I got to get rid of that. So I literally set myself a reminder for today at a certain time that I knew I'd be available, and, Lord knows a lot of us are available all day long nowadays. But a reminder for myself to cancel it. And so when that came up today, I was like, oh, okay, I will spend the 5 minutes that it takes, because I did have to reset my password and everything because I did not remember it. But it took 5 minutes, and I did it because I had a reminder set. So I am just telling you that alarms and reminders on my phone help me so much. And you might be like, oh, well, I don't even have the discipline to set the reminder on your phone. Well, I'm just going to say that you should develop that real quick, because you're probably on your phone at least 50% of the time anyway. So, if you find a way to have a shortcut to get to the reminders, type it in real quick, choose a time, Or a lot of these days, everyone has like a Google Home, which we have, or like an Alexa, which we have, or Siri on your phone, or whatever the frick is on Android phones, where you just hit something and then you're like, hey, blah, 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 remind me to do this at this time. Like, you don't even have to type anything. You just literally say it into your phone and they will set the reminder for you. So, something to consider, alarms and reminders. They can save you so much, because you'll set that reminder for 5 days from now and then you're like, go on your way and you forget, and then when it comes up, you're like, oh crap, good thing I set a reminder, and then you do it. And then I know sometimes you can set a reminder and if you just click past it, you're like, oh no, I'll do that later. Just have it continually come up until you actually say that you've done it. That's gold right there. That's gold. If you have trouble working for long periods of time, my suggestion is for you to set a timer to work for an hour, then take a 20-minute break and do this throughout your day, and it should help. For me, that's kind of like, I don't know, it depends on like what your whole work schedule is. So for me, I work from 8:30 to 5. I don't generally take breaks or lunches. I'll just eat at my desk. I used to do that when I was working in the office, and now that I'm temporarily working at home, I do it the same way. But I've actually been more cognizant about taking breaks, because even though I'm more focused at home because I have less things that interrupt my workflow, it's just I need to be able to, since I am working from home, and still be able to balance that, like, okay, I'm working, but I do actually need to take a break now, because, you know, sometimes my daughter will wander in or the dog will be in there. So it's kind of like messing up my brain of like, am I working or am I at home? So I just suggest that you take some breaks so you don't like burn yourself out, or you find you're just like working really hard for 4 or 5 hours and then you just like don't want to work for the rest of the day. It's important to just break it up so that your mind has a break, especially if you're staring at a computer screen and you're not wearing blue light glasses. Definitely take a break every hour. Maybe you don't want to be 20 minutes. Maybe you want to be 10. Maybe you want to be 15. But I feel like 20 minutes is like that point where it's like, okay, take up to a 20-minute break, get back to work for an hour, continually do that through your day, and then you'll be more productive because you're actually taking breaks and refreshing yourself. So just a suggestion. If you get distracted easily, I know I do, put your phone in another room, or don't work in front of the television or in a space where someone can easily pull you away from your work. So for me, in our house, we have an office space, and before the whole quarantine thing happened, my husband and I were already working on making the office better, because before the quarantine, I would still work on my computer, on my personal projects, things that I like to do, and he actually traditionally works from home anyway. And we bought like really nice standing desks and kind of cleaned up the room and everything like that. And so it's already like a workplace room, because even my hobbies that I do on my computer, unless I'm just like, you know, trying to come up with ideas and new ways to do things, which I can sit in the living room on my laptop and do that. But if I really want to focus and sit and write, I will do it in the office. And now I have to work in the office. So it's already kind of like a work environment for me. But sometimes my phone will be a little distracting, so I will leave it in the bedroom if I really have something super important to be doing at work, something to focus on. But a lot of times I can find that your phone is actually helpful, because it'll remind you to take breaks, or if you want to listen to music and that helps you really zone in on what you're doing. It just depends. It just depends on what your attention span calls for and what really distracts you. My daughter is not in school right now, as I feel like most kids are not in school right now. She has to do some things online, and she knows they're at work, so she will learn how to be respectful when she has learned how to be respectful, because it's all new to us, you know, this whole thing, being respectful, coming in, finding out if she can talk to me, just putting those limits and boundaries in place so that you don't get distracted easily. And I definitely do not work in front of the TV. You know, initially I was like, oh, maybe I'll just sit up my laptop and the phone in the living room and watch YouTube videos all day. No, that would definitely not work for me. So I would just say evaluate the space that you have if you are distracted easily, and make sure that it works for you so that you can just get work done, whether it's your regular day job, whether you're working on your hobbies, or just your plan and projects that you want to get done. Also, keep some sort of tracker so you can track your progress of the project or goals you have. Absolutely. So in another episode before, last one, I was talking about making a timeline, deadlines, a calendar. So within those things, you can definitely track your progress of like, okay, of the different milestones. So those can be your milestones of, okay, like for me, it'll be like, oh, I've done a whole month of podcast episodes. That's great. That's the progress that I'm doing. Or, oh, I've found that I'm been able to do my note-taking or research this way. So I'm being able to progress to be able to do that a little bit quicker because I found a more efficient way to do it. Or if it's something that you have to work towards, like maybe you want to post videos on YouTube and you're like, okay, well, I have created this many videos and I've talked about this certain things, and you've gained subscribers, or you found people that are interested in the same things that you are, or whatever it is. Or maybe you're at home making clothes, I don't know, or you're building a video game. Like, you're just tracking the progress of how far you've gotten and how much farther you have to go to hit the next milestone or come to the end if your project has an end, which I know not all of them do, because for me, for my podcast, I don't really see an end until an end is forced or whatever may happen in the future that I don't know. So it's important to keep track of your progress, because if you're feeling down or discouraged about something, you're able to look back and see all the progress that you've made, and that'll really help your positivity and just boost your mood and help you feel better about how far you've come and where you're going. So I'm going to end it there. I thank you so much for tuning in to this episode. This episode was still a little bit long. I hope you guys are enjoying them. I feel like they're not too much longer than I was originally doing, 10 minutes, but I feel like it's just enough for you to get some motivation, some encouragement. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope this was helpful. And again, I encourage you to share this with anyone that you might feel needs to hear this information. Go ahead and join me on Instagram if you want. Check out the handles for that in the description box. If you want to give me any feedback, you're welcome to send me an email. That address is also in the description box. You guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I am so appreciative that anyone's listening to this, because I really just want to help people as much as possible. So, happy Wednesday. I hope you have a good one, and I hope to see you for tomorrow's episode on Thursday. Bye, guys.